Roll call, Boss,
Here.
Johnson, here. I'm here. There two of us. First thing is, Derek.
Yep, are we just here to
Yep.
basically sign this and?
Have you looked at the contract at all?
Yeah, we talked a little bit before you got here about, the buyback agreement wasn't in there as part of that, but
I don't
John
know.
explained why it's not.
Yeah. I don't see nothing wrong, so we should do it up and then we'll get the dirt and stuff, but work on it. So,
So like you said, it's just gotta go to the abstract, not the abstract company anymore, but.
And I was very willing to put that buyback in, and so it doesn't matter to me either way, because I'm gonna locate there. But so that's the only thing for, like Michael said, if I don't locate there, you guys got 8 acres to develop anyway. But, so I was okay with buyback, if you wanna add that in, that's fine with me. It'll be bought back,
well, I know you're 99% sure.
all I got to do is get some dirt moving in there.
Yeah, I would say let's get going.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion?
So now, John, can we just, when this is signed, we could send this to Dee then? Do you think we need a copy of an actual check written, or should we just try this first?
I think we could try that first, and we'll let them make that determination. They said they needed to know that the city owned the property, so.
Right.
It's a legal document.
And then in accordance with that, although if we're gonna own the property tomorrow, should we get a hold of Schwartz or get a quote from a couple of contractors to come in and do the dirt leveling that we want? And John can stake out what we need,
Right.
have your engineer stake it out so that.
And, are you gonna set up the title work?
Right, I'll take this over to the title company and get title work done.
And then just let me know when you wanna meet there.
Yep, get it to the deeds.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess the sooner the better.
Right.
While we wanna get them started, we put snowballs up is.
Right, all we gotta do is get because what happens if Deed comes back next week and says, no, we're out, then this reverts back, you guys, I'll give the 50,000 back, I'll own the land, and that's it. You know,
In talking with Chris Ishmael, I thought he said that deed grants purchase of property was part of the agreement. And even if it's not, the dirt work and stuff would be, like Schwartz's work and anything that has to be done. And then, of course, if we're gonna develop the whole 8 acres,
right,
that'll all be included. And as long as we're getting that for half price,
okay,
I just feel we should keep going and
okay.
get you in there.
Okay, so then we'll just, we'll move
Yeah.
forward quickly then. And it sounds like Deed they'll release it almost immediately.
Yeah. But you can ask them when you send that in, if,
Yep. Yeah, if they need title work done, hopefully not.
Yeah, well, I'll check with the title company.
Right. And we'll get in next week.
I'm guessing Schwartz won't take that long to move that hill and,
D8 in there, they should be able to go there,
I'd be,
what day?
Do you want me to sign now?
Yeah.
Okay. This one here?
Yeah, that's fine, and then Mike can
Yeah.
take it and sign
Okay.
it after I take care of it.
Still need to vote on it.
You only have to vote.
we didn't vote on it.
You just said first and second.
Why, I said any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'm gonna vote yes. That's good.
Okay.
There you go, and then we'll make sure to get you a copy.
Yeah.
So I'll take care of getting the title company.
Okay.
All of them.
That's it
Everybody
then.
understands to sign off.
Sarah signed that.
Give me here.
She's not in until Monday.
Okay.
Could call her and see if she's coming through town.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can you, get that into one?
As soon as we have it signed,
Oh, Tara's gonna sign?
Yeah, Tara's got to sign.
Okay.
If we can catch her coming through town tomorrow.
Right.
and we'll see what they say, and if they need something else, do that. Yeah.
Derek,
They'll need
are
something.
you donating this to the city? I think I'll keep it.
That's images.
Oh,
all
that's-
right. Nice of you.
It's way too fancy for us.
Yeah,
I don't have things like that.
Coming from you, that would be great, you know.
That's money, feel it, an example.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. $400 fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Red Rock Drive.
Well, we had a couple of things there. We got the price to fully mill,
Yeah.
and we paid and then repaired things at the bottom of the hill, so that was 64,000. We're looking at doing less on the cul-de-sac area there. And maybe some other things.
We should probably get together here right away to decide what curve we're pulling out, how much we're gonna do that, what we're gonna do down there, you know. And then, do we call for bids? Because it's gonna be, I'm having $50,000 or better for that project.
Right, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, and we should get called for bids if it's that high, right?
Get some quotes and,
Get some quotes, but if it goes over 50,
Well, that's still in the quote range, gotta be 100.
it's gotta be 100 now?
Mhm.
That'd be great.
It goes up to 100.
But, yeah. Because we've got some different ideas on how to, where it's leaking on the bottom, that curb ain't holding. Well, maybe if we extend some dirt, extend the culverts and put some more dirt out 4 more feet, so that as the water and the rain washes that, it doesn't, it's not a foot away from the curb, and then directly the road, and we can see it on
it's
it.
got some support behind it.
Yeah. And
I have a question, John. Now, on the bottom, are they pulling the culverts out?
No,
So the culverts are gonna sit in there while they do the work around them?
that was the plan, was to redo the surface. Cut in there, what did I get back here? 12 and 9, 21 inches underneath the pavement and replace all of that.
So it's
So
basically,
the
so
culverts will
basically just subcutting,
Right,
new asphalt and new curb and gutter.
right.
Don, when they put that new gutter curb in there, would it help to put some heavy re-rod from, you know,
It could help, yes.
because if it does wash out again, it's just gonna fall in there again, if you had some good heavy re-rod in there, where it might hold it up.
Or keep it together or something.
Yeah. But, we'll have to figure that
Put a
out.
couple on the bottom and one on the top.
Right,
So, but it looks,
it'll change the price of everything, so.
so but what's the plan, basically subcutting to the top of the pipes?
Yes, basically. I think the pipes have not really moved too much,
No, they haven't.
so
Kevin, what size pipes are those? Does it say?
42 and a 54 inch.
They're concrete.
Right, they're concrete.
And if a person could add 4 feet to each side and fill, would that help our problem?
Well, like we talked, could
Yeah.
provide some support on the backside of the curb.
Yeah.
It could come out
Come over
kind of a
4
little
feet,
flat and then.
put some crushed rock and then some good soil and stuff.
So what we had done in the original one is to
Yeah.
do the surface here.
The bottom, I'm afraid it's gonna take a little longer than we thought, but hopefully it'll be done right.
Well, in comment to that, they've done it a couple times, Mike, and as I've seen it, it's gotten worse. I mean, it's never been as bad as it is now, and I don't understand why. I do know that it's never been anywhere near as bad as it is now. So their prior fixes, John, have made it worse instead of better. Would be like if I hired a contractor that had a leaky roof, well, when he was done, it's really leaky. Right. That's kind of what we're looking at there. So I don't know what you guys are talking about, that's gonna fix the problem or not, I would sure.
Well, I think we got a little curb out by Jimmy's, and where they put the tar in, they made the curb too high. And so when they put the tar in, all they did was put it in for what they cut out. Well, then it goes up the hill. If they would have went 5 foot, at least you wouldn't have a speed bump there. You would have sort of a high curb you gotta go over, but, you know, people don't usually drive 30 miles an hour up that curb. But the way it is now, even at 10 miles an hour, you're rocking your car, and it's not good. And so we talked about how much we're going to shortcut and how much we're going to mill, and
It should have been pretty good ground up there, or no, that was all filled in,
that
wasn't
was
it?
all
It
filled.
was all filled.
But
It was the whole mine dump, it was filled before. Nobody really knows what's underneath there.
we got an idea.
You know, if I have a moment, you know, just for the council, I did mention to John is what we were talking about earlier, but I said before, and I mean it, is that we're unable and willing to live with, you know, what we've got up there at this point in time. I'm still feeling that way. The only thing I need a little more anger, and the reason I have it is not because of what I have to live with, but the fact that the job was done inappropriately and that the taxpayers, and I'm only one of many, have to pay for what's done. As we're talking, Mike, up there, how much of what they did is gonna remain after they do the fix-up?
Right.
And that cost, if it's 20,000, 22 or whatever, I heard you throw some figures around, I don't think we as you know, city taxpayers should have to pay 1 penny. And that's my take on it. I don't, anything other than that would be wrong. I think the accountability, everybody says it's this, it's that. I don't hear anybody say, this is what happened, this is why it turned out this way. Why does it run uphill? The curb was different. If I talked to my neighbor, if we could have it the way it was before they started, we preferred that. This spring was better than it is right now. And now we're looking at paying 20-some thousand for that job. It really hits me and creates the anger that I think I'm sensing right now. So if there's any accountability, I don't even see why I or any of the city council should have to say, what happened, why? Why doesn't the contractor or yourself, John, say, this is what happened? I was up there, I see the instruments, they had their pods, they were up there multiple times, and then when my driveway got cut, and I talked to Casper, they were there, they said that the curb is all they're gonna have to remove. As a school bus driver, I went back and forth walking, I came back up and they had to make one full cut, 44 feet, which is the width of my driveway, up, I don't know what it was, a couple feet, and they said, well, that's what they had to do. So I went down again, and then when I come back up, they had to make another total cut, which was much higher, which it still is that way. And those are questions I have, and why should there was mistakes made, or they wouldn't have had to do that. And as it is right now, the curb, as Mike said, is the water runs away from the curb, but because the cul-de-sac car is what it is, it's lower, and there's a much larger water puddle in front of my driveway and the actual fire hydrant in Jimmy's driveway, which is now a launching ramp. There was a gal that, as I said earlier, was going in, she had a fairly brand new, well, year or two old Ford SUV. I watched her, happened to be outside. She came in to go to Trombley because that's where our visitors had been parking because our driveway was not usable. And she hit that thing so hard that it was unbelievable how that car rocked. And she finally parked her, she wasn't going in excessive speed. She finally parked her vehicle and she got out and she looked behind that, wondering what in the world she did. Now that is unacceptable workmanship. And to think that anybody in Bovey, the city, has to pay for that is just totally wrong. And that's where I'm standing my ground on. I don't care what far as if it was a gravel road up there, I would I'd live with that. I can live with whatever we got, but I don't like the idea that we're being charged for inappropriate work. So,
That's what was brought up in the last meeting too, Bob, too, was that, and John didn't make it to the last meeting, but we were gonna ask, what is the accountability? I mean, these insurance, these construction companies are bonded and insured. So when we have something like this, why isn't it fixed under their bond?
I don't know if we presented it to, laid it out to the logging company.
I don't know if we had that bonded or anything, but what we pull out, we should not be paying for from the beginning. You say it's $45 a foot for concrete, curb and gutter. I don't know how wide Jimmy's is, Bobby's is 44 feet, you know, take that times 25. That alone is just for the concrete, you know, and that's what we're gonna have to argue about after. We're not gonna pay for it.
Yeah, that's not even.
Because they did it wrong, we're not gonna pay them half price, you know. So. And you might even swallow some of that.
Well, I already said that. Yeah.
But that's where we stand, and I guess we just get that final drawing and call for bid, huh?
Okay.
Quotes,
Right.
whatever.
but
And
what again happens to the money that was already, I mean, has the city paid for that job yet or not?
I don't think we paid
Still
for
got to-
everything.
We
have we?
need
No,
to part of
no,
it.
and we haven't paid for, we still need to do that, they paved the alleys and everything, so that may be coming, and that's kind of whole separate issue, but,
It's separate, but you still can be, we don't have to hold the money back.
right.
And
How much of it did we pay for it on there, on Red Rock?
Everything except $3,000, and we have, $20,000 retainage, and I don't remember the numbers. I don't know if I have the last estimate here.
I definitely think they should be responsible for something. I mean, when that's not that old of a construction project at all.
Well, like Bobby said too, it was just poor because here they laid the sod when it was slopping wet. You know, you walk on top of the side, you'd sink down and break your ankle, and then the truck goes to leave, he backs over half the sod and then leaves. And Bobby rolled the sod up and flattened the dirt back and put the sod down. I mean, you know, if you hadn't, we'd been calling and saying, what kind of a sodding job is this, you know? And tired of this, you know, you pay them and then they say, oh, there's a little mistake here, a little mistake there. Well,
Sometimes that job's lined up for the whole summer.
yeah,
They want to get it done, get the next.
you're right, and so start charging them for mistakes. Because this one is dandy. I guess that's it.
Okay, whole package put together.
Yeah, get a package put together so we can take a look and, actually we can get it ready for the 17th of this month, so that all for bids then.
Yeah, I think if we get something out,
Yeah,
if we can work together,
yeah,
look at it, and get something out for, next week, we should be able to have it
right.
for probably 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Motion to adjourn.